everyone. It is so nice to be here. Thank you so much for joining me tonight in this event. It is National Apple Day, so super fun. I just need to find myself now because I've been sharing everybody out so now I can't find myself. Alright, let's see. There we go, and there we go. And we're just waiting for Miss Lydia to finish up and for me to be shared into the group. Welcome to Sacred Treasure House. It has been a while since I've been here in the group, so it is a pleasure to be back. Hello there, dear. How are you? It was a lot of fun watching you earlier. So thank you so much for yay, thank you, Miss Deborah. So we are in the Sacred Treasure House event. Hello there, my sweet Mama Connie. How are you, dear? Thank you for hopping on. I really do appreciate it. It is so nice when you guys join me. Yes, a wonderful evening to everybody. So we are in the National Apple Day event here with the Sacred Treasure House. We have three amazing hostesses. We have Miss Deborah from Sacred Sew, we have Miss Lisa from Lisa's Craft House, and then we have Miss Tanya from Tanya's Treasures. Sorry, I had to think for a second. And up before me was Miss Lydia from Paint Party by Lydia. I absolutely loved what you were doing, dear. So much fun using the stencil and using part of it. You don't have to always use the whole stencil the way they make it. So yeah. And then I'm like you, I like to get the books from the thrift stores that are for patterns and use the images from them in for junk journaling as well. So I'm totally with you there. But I am actually going to do a surface. Oh no, you're quite welcome. It's gonna be different because I haven't done like decor pieces in a while, so the last three items that I've done have been more decor than paper crafting. I mean, there is still paper being involved in this one because I'm using this printable, but other than that, that is as far as the extent of paper is going to go for me tonight, which I know is a little different. If you watch me, you know that I tend to stick to my paper crafts. It's really what I love to do. But I've been enjoying this. I hadn't done any in a while, and I wanted to do some decor pieces. I will do fall and Christmas in a heartbeat just because I absolutely love having the possibility to do that. So hello there, Miss Barbara. Welcome in, friend. Welcome in. So I'm just wetting the edges so that I can tear it up, okay? And this is just regular printer paper, nothing special, no cardstock or anything like that, just printer paper. It is not the cheap printer paper, but it's printer paper. So thank you so much, Miss Barbara. I really truly appreciate the sprinkles and the rating. That is amazing. Thank you so much. Welcome in to everybody. Welcome, welcome. Hello there, Miss Nicole. Oh, I got to see you as well earlier with your candied apples. Those were so fun. You know, that is one of the things that I love with apples is like candy apples. I know that, like, you know, it's hard with my teeth, so I just and it's always been a problem for me. I have a very small mouth, so I've always had issues with like a straight caramel apple, so I have found a trick to slice it, and if it's in slices I can enjoy my candy apple. Yeah. Thank you, dear. I appreciate you being here. Just be careful and be safe on that road. You know, we need to always stay safe, and I appreciate you being here. So right now, as you see, all I am doing is using a paintbrush with some water and trying to get some of this extra paper off, and before we put it on my little cutting board that I got in the clearance section of Walmart, evidently. Only because it had a clearance, a yellow clearance tag on it. That's the only reason why. I was like, oh, that's where I got it from. It's half the times I don't remember where I pick stuff up. That's what happens when you buy too much and then you don't remember where you get it from. But thank you guys for being here. I know it's really late, especially if you are on the East Coast like myself, but as Miss Deborah and Miss Lisa and Miss Tanya know, I'm a late owl, so this is actually when I'm good and getting going. So I'm perfectly good with being the last person coming on late. It actually really does work for me. There was one person scheduled actually after me, but the schedule's changed. So I will be closing this wonderful event out. And if you missed any of our presenters today, please go back to the Sacred Treasure House event group. It is a free group where you can see the events. Events are hosted Tuesdays, Thursdays, and there are events on some Sundays as well. So you definitely want to join the free group. Make sure you can see all of the replays there. We've had some amazing, very creative projects. You definitely need to go back and see some of the costumes, watch Miss Lydia juggling apples. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I'm just gonna say, if you missed it, you need to go back and watch. All right, so I got that all kind of the way I want it. So it's really ragged, but that's gonna help with it to kind of blend in. So actually, I guess it was Walmart, but then I got it from the Goodwill. So we're gonna actually take this off right quick. And if you don't know, if you get your Goodwill sticker to where it turns black with your heat tool, it won't leave a residue. So that's just an FYI if you maybe didn't know that. But by heating it up to that point, now there's no residue there, because it kind of stays to the it sticks back to the sticker. Okay, so I did sand this down a little bit already, because of, you know, we're not doing the let's eat in this fork, and we're going to be covering it. I am just going to be doing a coverage with the Waverly wax, and it's the antique wax, and I'm going to use a wipe. You didn't know that one? Yes, I do that, and it works on books, it works on whatever you're using, and it takes that sticky away. I found out one day by accident, because I was kind of talking and holding the thing, and I think, I don't know who I was distracted talking to, my husband or one of my kids, and then I was like, oh my gosh, you know, it had gotten like black, and I was like, you know, worried. And when I went to pull it up, there was no residue, and I was like, well, that's a happy coincidence. I am definitely doing that one again. Alright, so let's just use our wipe. And this helps me to put the wax on, and it actually acts like a stain on my wood. You could also do this with watered down paint if you didn't have the wax. So yeah, it's one of those little happy accidents that happen sometimes. And I am gonna do the edges because when this does go to be up on a wall, you know, I want it to be all nice and cohesive. So we're going to make sure that we get all of our edges nice and tinted. That's essentially what we're doing. We're staining the wood, we're tinting that wood. And I don't want to see the lighter color, so. And I will do the back as well so that it looks nice and finished off. But for now, I'm just going to concentrate on the front, the sides, and the handle. Because maybe I'll end up doing the back side in a different manner. Because I do that a lot. I like to have my decor pieces be double-sided. So I might do maybe a Christmas, and that way then I can flip it. So I like doing things that are like double. It helps with storage. That's honestly one of the biggest reasons why I was doing it, was because of storage issues. It's, you know, I'm running out of places to put stuff. And yeah, Miss Lydia, I know you were saying that you have a lot of the stencils, if you're still in here. I'll tell you, if you do want to sell them, you need to set you up a show on Whatnot and title it, you know, Chocateur stencils, and people look for that. So that would be something to be able to help you with that. And if you have any questions or something, just let me know. I'll gladly help however I can, because I've been able to sell a lot of the ones I had as well. Because like you, I ended up, you know, not really selling and more just buying, and ended up with way too much. But you know, shopping therapy is a thing now. I mean, my therapist has told me it is a thing, and it is evidently one of the things that helps me. So you get away everything because before, etc. But if they're basically the same thing. So yeah, if you don't have to necessarily schedule, you know, like list every individual thing. So like I said, you can send me a message and we can talk about that, and I could help you out with that. Getting ready for work, puppy? Okay.
Time of the day.
I know. I love you too. Be
Be
safe. Alright. If you have Mod Podge, you can use Mod Podge for this. But I'm just going to use regular Elmer School glue. And I know I poured out way too much, but that's fine. It'll be alright. Yeah, of course. Of course. there's been people who have, you feel flustered because there's a lot, but there's so many little tricks that I've learned to doing things to where, you don't have to feel so overwhelmed. So I will gladly help any of my friends. And yes, we tend to buy a lot, so. So, just like my husband tells me, that as long as stuff is going out, my problem is that I have more coming in than I have going out. And I'm like, I know. I'm trying to get better about it. But I loved seeing all the pictures of y'all in North Carolina. I'm so sad that I couldn't join you ladies. That looked like so much fun. I don't know if y'all know, but back in June, when we were having all those pop-up thunder and lightning storms, we actually had lightning hit the front yard. It struck my husband's truck, and the energy bounced to my vehicle, which was parked close to his, and it ended up frying all the electronics in my car, along with internet router, different other it took out light bulbs in the front of the house. Anything that was facing the front yard, it took it out. It was scary. And that was June, and we are almost to the end of October. My car is still at the shop. I still have no word on what they're going to do with it, and it has been essentially a nightmare. So not having a vehicle of my own, and it's just been really hard. Yeah, it's just been really hard because so luckily they were able to get my husband's truck fixed, but mine had like a lot more bells and whistles. And we had just paid my vehicle off and just got in his truck, so it was, crazy is definitely a word for it. So luckily his truck, they were able to repair. They had to replace all 4 tires because 2 of them exploded on impact, and the other 2, the shop said that you could tell that the rubber had been heated, expanded very rapidly, and shrunk, and that is dangerous to be riding like that. So they had to replace all 4. And honestly, the biggest thing with his truck was waiting for them to get the tires in. They were able to get his truck up and working, and then there was one component that they had to change. But with my car wouldn't start. My car nothing would work on it. So yeah, and it's been a battle between the dealership and the insurance company, back and forth, because dealership's already written up about $12,000 worth of parts and labor, or just parts, I don't even remember anymore. But the insurance is like they only want to replace one thing at a time, and so it's just been crazy. Hello, welcome in, my friends. So yeah, without a vehicle, and hubby's the breadwinner of the family, so he has to have his truck to go to work every night. That's been honestly our only saving grace, was that he works third shift now, since November of last year. So he can make it back in time for me to leave to go teach on Mondays or go to appointments during the day. But you know, I can't do anything that requires me staying anywhere and stuff. So hi, Miss Donna Sue, welcome in, sweet friend. Thank you for being here. So this is what we've got so far, okay? I am going to distress the edges just a tad bit, but I'm not going to be like super worried about it because I have a really cute trim that I want to use. Thank you. I just did a little internet Google for an apple recipe that I could print. And I thought this one was the cutest. I found another one. I found this one as well. But I kind of like this one more. So that's why we went with that one. So by doing this, I'm trying to blend the paper into the staining of the wood that we did. And I'm just using my Distress Oxide vintage photo. And it's just, like I said, it's helping me to blend it in so that it's not, you know, this harsh of a comparison. And I want to thank Miss Deborah and Miss Lisa and Miss Tanya for hosting these events. I know that it takes a lot to put on events, and I'm very grateful that I can participate in your ladies' events. So, praying that next year things will be a whole lot better, and if you guys do plan another meetup, that I'll be able to join in on all the fun, because it looked like y'all had a blast. And like I said, I can totally do like maybe like something Christmas, so this could be fallish, and then we could turn it around and do something like Christmassy on that side. That way it'll have like a double purpose to it, as long as we don't go like super 3D. Now I don't do bows, so for anybody, how you can make it. You know, you can make what? I'm sorry, I did not get that. I did not understand what you were saying, Miss Lydia. I'm sorry. Might need to retype that one and see if maybe I can understand, because I didn't get that. Feel bad, I'm sorry. But I love your idea of doing like a cruise. That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. Could do a crafting cruise. I will be in Oklahoma next year. I'm hosting a retreat there. That's gonna be fun. There we go. I like how that looks. What do y'all think? It looks good, right? Because if it helped it blend it in, I think that looks pretty good. And I don't know what I took this tag off. This came off of something. I think it was a gift that was given to me or something of the other, and I just stashed it away with my Apple themed items. So I am going to distress just the edges, because I do want to end up hanging this. Thank you. I do want to end up hanging this from the edge Just a little bit. I appreciate you. There's such an amazing group of creators here at the Sacred Treasure House that it is an absolute blessing to just be around y'all. Hello there, Miss Rosa. How are you, sweet friend? So yeah, so I'm gonna dangle that from there. I don't know yet how, but that's the idea. Thank you. And y'all forgive me if I don't know your name or I don't remember it tied to your page name. I tend to be pretty bad about that. So this is the trim that I have that I thought would look really good because it's like this dark red, and what I wasn't sure was if I wanted to put it on the board or on the edge. What do y'all think? Should it go on the board? I mean on the edge there, or should it go on the board? And we can do like all around. What do you think? They work very hard. On the edges, okay. Let me put this over here before I poke myself because I'm notorious for doing that. I'm notorious for doing that, y'all. I will poke myself out. You like it? Thank you, Miss Ramona. Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate that, dear. So I am going to use a combination of, this is 3-in-1. You could use Fabri-Tac if you have that or prefer that, and some hot glue, just because it does take longer to set up, and I want to make sure that it will actually stay, you know. Okay. So we're going to bring this around and bring it down. And see this, the burgundy, like I said, if I do something like Christmas themed on that side, will still look really good because that can be a color used at Christmas time. So y'all might see this come out again at some point during one of my crafts, when I decide to turn it into our next season. Because oh my gosh, like it's here, and where did time go? Like next week is already Halloween. Like how? And it's gonna be an interesting Halloween because I have dental surgery that day. I know, right? It's so pretty. This is beautiful rich burgundy color, which I really like. But yeah, I'll have dental surgery, so it's gonna be early in the morning, so I hope that like the anesthesia will wear off, in the sense that I'll be awake to be able to hand out candy to trick-or-treaters, because I love doing that. I love seeing the kids. I love seeing some of them come with their pets all dressed up. We've had whole families come all dressed up, and it's so much fun. So I really hope that I'll be alert and awake for that. Because that's gonna be the worst. And that it's not too windy, so I can actually sit outside, because if it's too windy, then I can't sit outside, because that'll just make the toothache worse, you know. Won't be able to talk. I'll have a hole in my mouth, so that's definitely no fun. hardly get any the last few years. We've been going out to eat because nobody comes. See, our neighborhood is still is one of the neighborhoods that the parents bring the kids to. So we get, you know, I guess lucky and blessed on in that sense, because they will come, and I am grateful for that because I love seeing them. I mean, they literally come by the truckload. Every year we'll see the pickup trucks with the there'll be kids loaded in the back. There'll be a hayride, you know, trailer on the back of it, and they'll park down at the cul-de-sac and let the kids out, and then it's just whoom, and you'll have several of them do that, you know. We usually meet at my mom's like the weekend before or after, usually. Oh, that's nice. See, other than my husband's family, I really don't have family in the area. Heck, I don't have family in the country. What are we talking about in the area? So, and his family is all weird. Other than his younger brother, and his wife and the girls, the nieces, I absolutely love them. They're the sweetest. But I won't be able to go see them this year. I did go see them earlier, but because I told them that I wouldn't be able to be around for Halloween because of the surgery. So, because I've gone a few years, and I've helped them hand out candy in their neighborhood, and then taken the girls to walk the neighborhood so that mom and dad can focus on the younger ones. So I've done that in the past, and I'm grateful because all of mine are grown, and that is you know, not something that they would do because they're too old. So I do kind of miss that. I will say that for sure. I do miss that, you know. I miss when my kids wanted to dress up and go out. I mean, I think it's fun, you know. Don't look at it as, you know, we never do gory in my house. That's a no-no. That's not my thing. But, you know, the truth behind Halloween was in the old world, right, back in Europe, they believed that that was the day that the separation between what is it, like hell and earth, kind of opened up, so it was easier for them to come through. So they would dress up as scary as possible to ward off the demons. You know, that's kind of where the whole costume thing came from. So yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be the scariest costume ever. Also, dress up the kids like adults so that the demons wouldn't try to take the children because they were innocent, and they could take their bodies. So your kids were very young, we would drive them to several different towns, to visit aunts, cousins, grandparents. Then when we got a little older, yes, I remember. And it was really hard when Halloween happened to be in the middle of the week and the kids had to wake up the next day for school. Yeah, that was always hard. because they would not want to get up for school. Alright, I think I can undo this so that I can actually add, so I can add that. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Said the little train. You know, that was one of the things when we moved to the States. I was like, oh, great, you know, the kids will be able to do, you know, Halloween like we see in the movies, and this, that, the other. And then come find out, nope, you better not, because all kinds of stuff would happen. I mean, we would still walk the neighborhood with the kids, go to a neighborhood, one or another neighborhood. If you hit the stores at a certain time, you know, they would have candy for the kids and stuff. But believe me, I would still check their candy, because I would be terrorized that something or someone was trying something, you know. So okay, so I'm gonna have to hang it over this way somehow. So because I need to hang it on this side, like on the wood, and not dangle it from there, because it's gonna cover, unless I can make this. No, it's still gonna cover there. So we are gonna put it here, but I brought these out. This is like my little box of trinkets that are apple themed, and they're in an apple shaped box. Yeah, I know, I'm weird. So I have some buttons we could use. I also have this vintage looking pin, and I think I'm gonna use this because that is too bright. Everything is kind of muted, and this is too bright, so that would not work. I don't think that would work. So I kind of like that more. So let's use this one, but we're gonna have to take that pin off, so we're gonna have to heat that up. It's a cute apple case. I found it at the Goodwill, and I actually think that a long time ago they were at the Dollar Trees. You need some of those, what, the buttons or the cases? Because as I clean things, I have a lot of cases. Both. You know where you can find Apple buttons? You can find them at, ooh, that's hot. You can find them at Hobby Lobby has them. And recently they've been putting a lot of the stuff in on clearance, and some of the buttons in the paper crafting area were on clearance. Now those ones were Joann's, way before they did their closure thing. Alright, so I'm just going to try to get some of this hot glue off, because we definitely don't need that. Yeah, I'm this weird OCD. I have a disaster in my house. My craft room is a mess. I have craft stuff all spilled all over the house. But if I do have something organized, like I have all my Apple stuff is in one container, labeled apples, with an Apple sticker on it. And I have an Apple container for all of my Apple bits and bobs. Oh, Lord. I am a little cray-cray. Alright. And I do want to liven this up because it is a little too dark compared to everything else. So, let me see if I can do that with ink. If not, we'll probably have to paint it. Let's see if we can do this with a little bit of ink. You know, your inks are not just for paper crafts. You can use them in so many other things. And many times people tend to limit craft supplies to like a certain genre and forget that you can use them in other things as well. So, but yes, you can. You can use ink on wood. You can apple-shaped buttons. See, you found apple-shaped buttons. There you go. Thank you. I appreciate that. Alright. Trying to think. I thought I remembered seeing some red lace. Or is it just black lace that I have here? I think I'm going to bunch up a little bit of this lace. So this is a piece of vintage lace that I have. So I'm going to use some of it. And we're going to bunch it up. Is what we're going to do. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I loved your little gnome. I'm like you. I was never into the whole garden gnome things. I never understood that. But then I started seeing all the cute crafts that people were doing with gnomes, and I love them. So yeah, I have little gnomes out in my garden, little statue gnomes. I have little gnomes that I have repainted for different seasons or holidays. My husband's bought me a gnome because he knows I like them. It was actually a big old gnome inflatable. So I could put outside with my Halloween decor. He's a Halloween gnomey. And so yeah, so we're going to put this little piece of the vintage lace here, and we'll cover it up with that. So again, I'm going to do a combination. Okay. Yeah, it's so, you know, our hubbies put, you know, I always say my hubby puts up with me because I am definitely not no easy person to get along with. Of course, he also says that I'm a saint because I put up with him. So I'm like, you know what? We just put up with each other. How about that? So we're good. We're good. It's all good. I would love to go to Alaska. I definitely want to do one of the Alaskan cruises. That sounds like so much fun. Hubby wants to, well, we really wanted to go to Hawaii because he wanted to go to Pearl Harbor, and then we just found out that they are taking it down, the memorial, and so I was like, oh darn, that's a bummer. It's like, man, we didn't go fast enough. And I was hoping my son would get stationed there, so that way, see, now it's too short. I was hoping my son would get stationed there, and then that way we had, you know, we kind of have like a pass to go, but he's going to Japan instead. That's where they have him going. I know, right? So y'all, I looked at my daughter the other day. She said something and I was like, child, I know that I've taught you better than that. She was like, I didn't think that. She was like, why is Alaska a state? Aren't they like she thought, she knew that they were part of the US, but she thought that they were like Puerto Rico, and it was like you know, and not like a territory. I was like, no, it's a full-fledged state. She's like, but all the way out there? I'm like, well, it's like Hawaii. And I'm like, it's also out in the middle. There was strategic reasons for them to become states. So, but yeah, Hawaii sounds amazing. Talking about Alaska, y'all, keep Alaska in your prayers because they were hit really bad with a typhoon. I don't know if you guys have seen that. They, like, it went from being just this beautiful little town, and it was like leveled in water, and it's all completely flooded from where the waters came in. Hey there, my sweet Carla. Now, I know you heard earlier, and you've heard of some of the amazing ladies talking about the kits that they will have for their Christmas event. That sounds amazing. I know, right? So sad. I heard about it. I was like, oh no. You know, I always find it, you know, devastating when any place is hit with any kind of natural disaster, but especially if, you know, if it's part of the US, because this is home, right? Even though they are pretty far away from us, but still, it's bad. So just keep them in your prayers, because that's all we can do, right? Is pray for them. Welcome in to my awesome Cajun friend. Y'all, I have the best bestie ever. I can't wait till I get to see her again. I got to spend time with Miss Carla earlier this year when I went to San Antonio for my son's graduation from Corman School, so that was amazing. Now when she shows you guys pictures of what she cooks, let me tell you, yeah, it's good. It's good. She is, ooh, she's an amazing cook. She made the real deal gumbo for us. That was yummy. Nah, you're awesome. And I love you. And I can't wait till I come see you again. Alright, so what you guys think? I think that's gonna look cute, right? Think so? And I still have the option that I can do, like I said, I'll probably end up doing something Christmas related over there. And you see how cute that came out? I think that came out really cute. And it actually has a recipe on here, so it has the one egg, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 6 apples sliced, 3 tablespoons flour, a half cup of sugar, and a tablespoon of lemon juice. And it says, in a bowl, combine sugar, flour, spices, toss apples with the lemon juice in a separate bowl. Add dry ingredients to the apple mix and toss to coat. Line the pie plate with dough, trim the pastry edge, fill the apple mix, beat egg white until foamy, brush over the crust, sprinkle with sugar, and then bake at 357 for 40 minutes. I was about to say for 400 minutes. You do 400 minutes and you're not even getting an apple crisp. You're getting a hockey puck at that point. But yeah, I think that came out really cute, and I do like the idea that you guys said to put it on the edge, because I feel like it finishes it with the trim. So that looks really cute, and you see how we were able to do all of that. I like that. I like that a lot. So I do still have 9 minutes, and I want to make sure that I use my time. Even though I am the last person, we are going to just quickly do something else right quick. So we have that right there, and let me see if I have an open card right quick. You love it! Yay! Yeah, like I said, I've been getting into doing some decor pieces for the house, or I don't know, maybe I'll sell it. I don't know. It'll depend, because my daughter already said that she loved the little the scarecrow craft that I did yesterday for the scarecrow event I was in. She said she loved it, so, and she said that she would like it, and I'm like, okay. Alright, so I'm taking, and I also got this at the Goodwill, and it's a sample pretty much of crepe paper, you know, the streamer type paper, and we're actually going to use it to cover the back of this card here. That's not good. And so if you guys like to do ATC cards, this is a quick way to do it. You know, you can buy this one had a bunch of small ones, but sometimes you can buy the really big ones. And so I thought that this would be fun to use and play with. Thank you for that. I really do appreciate that, Lindell. All of you did amazing creations today. I'm just so honored that I can be part of this very talented group of ladies and gentlemen, because we had our crafty brother Ralph on earlier. And again, if you missed anybody, please go back and watch. You can catch all the replays over at the Sacred Treasure House event group. Okay, again, it is a free event group, and you are very welcome to join us and see what everybody has created today and in other events. And again, there's another amazing event coming up on Thursday. Oh, really? I love doing ATC cards. I do a lot of them. I do a lot of them because I get into a lot of swaps and stuff. So I actually have some over here. These ones are not fully finished yet, but I already have some splattered. This was tissue paper and sprays and inks on them. This one, I feel like I need a gentleman here, since it says time is a wise man's treasure. So that's why I haven't sent that one out. This one has a little eek on it. And then this one here has poison apple and Snow White on it, and some lace. So These are the most recent ones I've been working on. But I love working on ATC cards. Yep, when it comes to and I've done all kinds of styles, like, you know, darker styles, you know, happier styles. You know, it all depends, really. It all depends. They will make some awesome wooden ATC cards. And see, that's what a lot of times people don't realize, is you can use other products than just playing cards. But like, I like to find, so like this was an old playing card, and so I like to find them, the ones that have the old ones, like the old images, and find those cards and use them. Oh, that would be amazing. Thank you. Hello, made it late. No, you're not late, dear. You're fine. How was your grandson's football game? I remember those days with my son. So grateful he don't do that no more. Now I just hear him about work and the people that work under him. Because he's a manager at Publix. So, but I remember those days of going to those football games and everything else. And then, you know, I like to make it look a little dirty. So I like to bring in that ink. Yay! Well, that's awesome. Math flashcards are also great. You could find like the word flashcards, the animal flashcards, anything like that. If you don't collect baseball cards, you know, any type of like card like that, you can cut greetings cards down to size. Honestly, there really isn't a size that you have to have, because you could do whatever size you want. But sometimes when you're in a swap, they do ask you to keep a certain size, and so then at that point you kind of have to keep that, and that is usually because people will store ATC cards in the baseball holder things. So like this was one I made, and that's just paper and a wooden ornament, right? It's nothing like too super fancy. Well, that's what I'm saying. Depending on what you're doing, they'll tell you, like, keep it to a 3x4, which is the size of a playing card, because people like to keep them in here, because if they're too big, so that's another one I did. If they are too big, they won't fit, right? Kind of like this one that I made. This one is a larger playing card for a child, and it won't necessarily fit in that style. This actually is for pictures. Okay. Even this one is slightly too big, slightly too wide. This one was sent to me. So it all depends on what you're doing. Like I said, if you're doing a swap, they will tell you, you know, to stay at a certain size, so that you can be able to save them like that. I'll put that back later. But I want to thank everybody so much. I'm actually going to end up stamping this. I do have an Apple stamp that I'm going to use, and so I'll use that on there. But I wanted to thank everybody so much for being here. Thank you again to our wonderful hostesses. Y'all do amazing, and I am very grateful that you host these events and that I'm allowed to join you guys whenever I can. And here is my project for National Apple Day. It is a cute little sign with a cute little printable. Yay! It was great to see you too, Miss Lydia. Thank you, thank you. It was good to see you too, dear. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope that we'll be able to see each other soon. And thank you so much for this wonderful evening and joining me. Aw, thank you, Miss Deborah. You guys be blessed, okay? Be blessed, my friends. Know that you are all wonderful and beautifully made, and guess what? You are the apple of God's eye, and He loves you, and I love you guys too.